So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Welcome to the Dulce Candy Podcast. I am Dulce Candy, a certified health coach, meditation and yoga teacher, content creator, and war veteran. This is a sacred space for Latinas and all women ready to heal, grow, and reconnect with their true essence. Here, we slow down, breathe deeply, and have real, honest conversations about life, spirituality, wellness, healing, and the beautiful, messy moments in between. Through guided meditations, heartfelt chats with inspiring mujeres, we'll nurture the mind, body, and soul. So grab your cafecito or cacao, open your corazón, and let's dive in. Hola, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the podcast. I am so happy to be connecting with you once again. This episode is going to be a little heart-to-heart between us, almost like we're sharing a little cafecito together, just catching up on life. It is June tomorrow, the first day of June. Yeah, we're actually halfway through the year, and I am in full Bali mode. I am preparing, putting extra little touches to the retreat. I'm really excited because I'll be gifting the women their first primordial sound meditation mantra. And I'm really excited because that is where I begin my journey as a meditation teacher, getting certified in primordial sound meditation, and now I get to share that in Bali, and I've already planned all of my outfits. This is actually the first time that I actually think about like a color scheme for all of my outfits. So I'm definitely doing different shades of green, lots of neutrals, lots of nudes, very calming colors, things that are printed with leaf patterns and palm trees and exotic jewelry, just anything from the ocean, putting all of that together and just waiting for things to get here so I can do any alterations. And I'm still looking for my red dress. So if you're a part of my retreats, we love to have a goddess/diosa dinner. And it's pretty much on the last day of the trip, the last dinner, and we all dress up in the same color. And this time we're all dressing up in different shades of red. I'm leaning more towards wearing like a really deep shade of red, you know? And so, yeah, just preparing and doing that. It's pretty much what I've been focusing on. My kids finally finished school. So I have my 8th grader who graduated. He's going to be in high school. And then my little boy is starting kindergarten, and I'm so proud of them. Isaac graduated with AB honors, and he got celebrated in a ceremony, and it was really special. My dad and my mom, they're so proud of him. My dad is one to like show off everybody that he's proud of. I am so like that also. Like if I have a friend that is just killing it in the game or just doing something so incredible, I will tell everybody about it because I'm like, that's my friend. Like my friend is doing incredible things. So my dad is the same way. And he's like telling everybody how proud he is and that we have a genius in the family because Isaac is really excelling in school. And he's also on track to graduate 2 years early from high school, which how incredible is that? Just creating a bucket list. I got my kids enrolled in the YMCA. One of my goals this summer with my not toddler, just my little boy Aaron, the love of my life. One of our goals is to learn how to swim together. So yeah, I don't know how to swim, and that's kind of like a key skill that we need to learn. And so I'm going to be taking swimming classes at the YMCA this summer, and I'm so looking forward to that because it is vital for us, for anyone to know how to swim. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. I know a lot of people are also asking about my dad and how he's doing. He finished his treatment, chemotherapy that he was doing. He was on 2 different medications, and he just finished his 12 sessions, and they also removed this this device that he had in his bladder. You know, it's really uncomfortable to have something externally that's supposed to be internal. So he's doing that, and we're going to just continue to pray for my dad because they're going to do another CAT scan this coming week to see how the treatment did, how it performed. A lot of the tumors did shrink and some of them disappeared, but they just want to make sure that there's no more C cells anywhere else in the body. But my dad is doing great, and I haven't seen him. I miss him. So we're going to be going to LA for the summer also. So it's going to be a busy summer. It already is a busy summer, and I really hope to meet up with my friends in LA. I'm definitely making time to meet up with them, which is so crazy because when I lived in LA, I didn't really hang out with my friends. And after I got back from Costa Rica, and I started to see like, whoa, like I actually have incredible friends in my life. I love hanging out with them. I love seeing my friends. They make my life so much better, more fulfilling, and it's just incredible to have friends because I was always the girl who never had any true friends, and it's not a blame on anybody else. It was all my fault, and not because I was a bad friend, but because I pushed people away. So anyways, let's get on to today's episode. Today's episode is all about authenticity. What does it really mean to be authentic, and why is it so hard for us sometimes to be ourselves? And how can we honor ourselves even when it feels uncomfortable or when other people might judge us? This is a big life lesson for me in this incarnation, and I was so inspired to film this episode because I started watching this incredible show on Netflix called Love on the Spectrum. I'll get into that in a minute, but first let's talk about why authenticity is so important. So I want to know from you guys, what does it mean to be authentic? To some people, it's just like, I'm going to be me 1000%. Whether you like it or not. I do believe that authenticity means showing up as the truest, most aligned version of yourself. And it means letting your voice, even the tone of your voice, your quirks, your passions, your beliefs, all shine through. It's kind of challenging in today's world because of social media. Because there's so many opinions out there. You can put yourself out there and people are going to have a hard time digesting your point of view. Not so much in everyday real life because I don't experience that in real life, but on the internet it is incredibly loud. So I stumbled upon this show recently and it honestly cracked something open inside of me. If you haven't seen it, it follows people on the autism spectrum as they navigate dating and relationships. And what really struck me, what inspired me, was how unapologetically themselves they are. You know, they show up with their quirks, their passions, their honesty without filtering or shrinking themselves. They truly show up incredibly authentic. And they're not worried about fitting into a mold or being cool. They're just being real, you know? And watching it just made me ask myself, Am I giving myself that same freedom? Am I allowing myself to show up as all of me without filtering and without apologizing for who I am? And it did make me realize how often I've shapeshifted, especially around new people, and how often I've tried to fit in rather than just be my true self. You know, shape-shifting is something that I hear a lot of people talk about, and it's pretty much when you change to adapt to the environment, right? So for me, I can see this going back all the way to when I was a little girl, where I didn't really quite fit in. I was always very quirky, and if you guys have ever watched the show Pepper Ann, it's a cartoon from the 90s. It's my absolute favorite cartoon. And I used to watch it every Saturday morning because I related to Pepper Ann. Like, I wanted to be Pepper Ann. Not the popular blonde girl. I wanted to be Pepper Ann because she was just so cool and weird and cool to me because she wasn't like the cool one, you know, but she saw herself as the cool one. And she was just so different. And I saw myself so much in Pepper Ann. And I know that we have to adapt. You know, that's part of growing up and navigating different spaces. It's healthy to know when to be professional, when to be playful, and when to be quiet. In one sense, that is shape-shifting. But shape-shifting out of fear is different, right? That's when we adopt a different personality that's not even us, or we abandon our voice. We don't speak our truth or our essence, right? We just want to belong. And I've caught myself doing that so many times, especially as a Latina woman in the wellness space, where I felt like I had to look a certain way because there's not enough representation of Latinas in the wellness space, which, by the way, Christine Gutierrez, aka I Am Diosa, she just wrote a book called I Am Worthy, and it's incredibly important for us as Latina women, Hispanic women, to show up and purchase the book, pre-order the book. I do have Christine coming up on the episode. We already filmed it, so stay tuned for our episode all about worthiness. And she's a trailblazer. You know, she is a Latina in the wellness space, publishing books, creating her own deck of oracle cards, being on the Kelly Clarkson show and other media, and she is really a leader in this space. And so for her, she had a similar experience that she shared on the podcast. We're so incredible just individually, and everything that makes us Latinas and Hispanic women, I mean, we have so much behind us. Shape-shifting doesn't mean that we abandon our truth. Authenticity is definitely about honoring your essence, no matter the space. It's about asking, what part of me is needed here? How can I bring my authenticity into this moment, even if it's a quieter version of me? That's what I ask myself when I'm leading meditation or I'm in front of people that are strangers or I've never met before. How can I be authentic to myself? And it just makes life so much easier because the truth is that nobody is perfect. And when you show up authentically yourself, you also give other people permission to be themselves. So this is what I want you to remember. You don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. You don't have to explain or justify who you are. You don't have to shapeshift to make others comfortable. Authenticity is our superpower. So let yourself be beautiful, unique, messy, brilliant, just the way you are. Let your quirks shine. Let your truth guide you. Let your voice be heard just as it is. Because as corny as it sounds, the world does not need a million copies. It just needs you. It just needs me. It just needs authenticity. Okay, so a sweet little note at the end of today's episode. I just want to leave you with a little challenge today. This is the 3-question mirror check. So every morning or whenever it feels right, I just want you to take 3 minutes to check in with yourself using these questions. Where am I hiding parts of myself? Where am I shape-shifting to fit in? Where can I let my authenticity shine today, even in small ways? Concentrate on these answers. Write them down in your journal. Tag me at Dulce Candy on Instagram if you want to share your journey, only if you feel comfortable. Remember, the world needs your authenticity, not your perfection. And let me be an example for you guys, because my podcast is far from perfect, but I made a commitment and I'm showing up and I'm connecting and I'm seeing progress and I'm planting seeds. And that's what I want you to do with whatever you're doing in life. All right? Don't seek perfection. Be authentic. Be messy. It's okay. Put it out there. Let's do it. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Dulce Candy Podcast. If you enjoyed our conversation, please take a moment to rate and review the show on your favorite podcast platform. It truly helps us reach more listeners like you. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Connect with me on social media for behind-the-scenes content and updates. Until next time, stay inspired and have a blessed and beautiful day.